Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Brandon Carpenter at the Hashknife Ranch, and for the first few minutes here, I'm going to be filling in for Suzanne. Oh, there she is. Perfect timing. So I'm going to just turn this back right to Suzanne so she can do an intro on this.
I've had computer issues. I had to completely restart my computer. It's just one of those deals. So I'm sorry for the delay. But
These things have a tension sensor on them because when I get near them, they sense my tension and they just do bad things.
okay, so where are we? I'm really scrambling. So James, fill me in. What am I doing? Am I introducing? It's calf pulling, and you haven't showed it yet, right? You haven't showed it yet.
Nope.
Okay. So, and you just finished with Anya, right?
We did.
I'm okay. Great. All right. So, are we ready for a countdown? And I'm just going to introduce Brandon.
We are already rolling. So just go ahead and I said I was filling in for you the first couple of minutes, and there you popped up. So we're already going. So I think what we need to do is just go ahead and show the video of a calf pull that I had. We're continuing the series that's happened earlier this spring, and
okay,
we'll talk about it.
So continue with what you're doing, and I'll come in at the end. Sorry about this. All right.
Good afternoon from the Hashknife. I got a little fun for us now. I hope it's not too fun. But I was riding through our calvy cows, and some of the pairs we've already had, just checking everybody. And I noticed this cow that has only had one calf. That was about 2 hours ago. And her water had broke, and she's having a little difficulty progressing beyond that. So I don't see any feet at this point. So it's past a little time to go ahead and try to get her in, and we'll put her in a head catch and see if we can't help her have this calf, and see what we can do, see what the issue is. So I'll bring her in and we'll go from there. Atta girl. Okay, I'm gonna get her in a head catch, and we will see what's going on. Okay, I'm going to try to get her in here now. Get this gate closed in behind her in this small little head catch area. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on, little cow. Come on, little cow. Come on. Get up there. Get up there, little cow. Yep. Yep. All right. Well, that was fun. She's kind of a little bit honky. I can't blame her too much for that. So we're gonna see if we can't get her in here with that head catch. I'm gonna give her a little bit of grain. that helped. I normally feed these cows with some cake, and it makes them a lot more willing to go. She was wanting to go through the head catch, realized there was cake there, and so that stopped her. That was actually really good. We'll let her settle here a little bit, and we'll see if we can't glove up and see if we can find his feet inside there. All right, I'm gonna get a long sleeve on. She is really worked up. She's mad. She's been pawing the ground. She's upset. She's in pain. Contraction. She's scared. So I'm gonna pour just a little bit of OB lube on my sleeve and arm here. I want to make sure that we can be as easy on her as possible. See if I can do this without getting kicked. Easy, baby. Easy, girl. Easy, baby. All right, I feel feet, I feel a nose, so that's a good sign. I don't know why she's not progressing, because that is absolutely, for sure, 2 feet and a nose. So I'm gonna grab the OB strap, see if I can at least get onto 1 foot, kind of get her started a little bit and help her out. And this is actually really good news that that's not a, I don't mind backwards calves so much, a breech calf with not being able to get a hold of any legs. That's normally, you know, you're talking cesarean time, and that's costly and hard on everybody. So I'm going to see if I can get a hold of, again, inside here. 2 feet. There's one. Easy, baby. Easy, girl. Easy, little girl. Easy, little mama. All right, there's 1 foot. Easy. 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 There's the other foot. Ooh. I think we got a live calf because he's pulling back a little bit. That's good. Clear her rectum some. Easy. Easy. This is not a good design. All right. So if I can get strapped now on these 2 feet. This is going to be the easiest pull ever. This works out. Get that up above the dew claws. It's wrapped twice. And I'm going to just watch. And when she starts to have a contraction, then I'm going to help her out. There. Atta girl, come on. Push for me. Push for me, honey. There's a face. There's a face. Atta girl. Atta girl, push. Push. There's a contraction. Push. Atta girl. All right. We have got the nose here. Look at that. Get you up here, kiddo. That mouth and nose cleaned out some. Look at that. Tickle that nose a little. Make him sneeze. And what do we got? What's our reward? Little heifer calf. Okay. Good girl. So, I'm going to just pull this calf up out of the way a little bit here. And then this cow can turn and see her baby. She's got a little blood here I'm not wild about. The other option is that we've got a set of twins here, but I don't think so. So I'm going to reposition our stuff and we'll turn her loose. But that is a live and unaware baby. All right, I'm going to turn this cow loose. Get back here and find her baby. Start cleaning it up. Come on, sweetheart. Turn yourself over. Come on, baby girl. Get yourself over. Come on. Yeah, girl. There we go. Smelling that baby. She knows what it is. Listen to her talk. She is mad. She is not happy with me, but boy, this couldn't have had a better outcome. Holy mackerel. I can't believe I didn't have to hook up any kind of chains or anything to get this baby out. That was an easy pull. She's just a little bit lazy, I think. So we'll give her a little bit of a chance to clean this little one up and make sure she hasn't got another little one in there. That's kind of small, like it would be a twin. And she looks pretty big bellied, so there's always a possibility. I hope not, but let's see what happens. Well, I'm giving her a little time, and she's still mad. This little heifer should be getting up here pretty quick. Giving it an attempt. This being born is really hard stuff. Well, I've gotten away from her. I'm in the house now and giving her a little bit of time to clean this baby up, lick it up, not be so mad and have me as a distraction. But what she doesn't know is I got an eye in the sky. We got a camera set up out there so I can take a look and see what she's doing. The problem for us today is, yeah, I have to look at it through this phone, so I can't share it with you. And I've tried to do that in the past, take a little bit of video of it, but you're just gonna have to take my word that we're leaving her alone. Notice the background, I'm not in that jug with her, so. All right, we'll get back to it here in a little bit. Here we go, little one's trying to get up. And she is still mad. A couple hours later. That is not a happy cow. I wish this calf would get up, and that way get a little belly full of milk. And if it did, I would entertain the thought of taking the rest of the day off. Actually, night. Come on, little one. Come on, little one. Self up. If I step in here, this cow will probably want to try to take me. I'll try to get the calf up a little bit. Come on, honey. Get up. Come on, kid. Come on, kid. There we go. There we go. Keep at it. I'll help her up. There you go. She's active enough and lively enough. I should probably get up. But I would really have a lot better peace of mind if she would. Or I could watch her do it now. Look at that face. That is nothing but anger. Come on, kid. Come on, cow. Get her up. Yeah, what I think we'll do is leave her alone. And I think we'll do is we'll just go ahead and leave her alone. The calf is actually trying. There we go. As long as she's trying, she's got some energy, she'll probably make it. So I'll probably just back off here and let this cow maybe encourage her to get up and get a belly full of milk. And there they go.
Brandon, thank you so much for sharing that with us. You know, no matter the circumstances, the miracle of birth is just an astounding thing.
It is.
Isn't it? I mean, to see that calf come out fully formed and knowing what to do, to struggle, to get that first breath, it's just a magical moment.
It is. And this was really a little bit different one, though, because it took a long time for that calf to get up. And that was I was really concerned about that because, the cow had struggled for a while on her own before I intervened. And this was not this cow's first time calf. This was a second calf she's had. And so I thought, this isn't good. So I gave her plenty of time. And then there's about after an hour of seeing her, really should have progressed and she didn't. Okay, I got to bring her in. But it was unusual that calf did not get up, within 20 minutes. And I was in the house quite a while watching on the camera, and she just wasn't doing anything. I got to the point where, I got to try to help this calf up or do something. And you'll notice how it just flopped around a lot. like there was a real imbalance or, just some neurological, I don't know, the synapse is not making contact, but she got up and she's, as healthy and as any other calf and no different than anybody else. So it's just a little different. I don't know. I've no idea why.
Well, they're all individuals, aren't they? Some of them are a little slower than others. But one of the things that really makes me curious is how did you learn how to do this? At what age did your father bring you in? I mean, this is not something that you just learn on your own. And I mean, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of courage on your part. I mean, there's a lot of it's not just knowing what to do, it's having the confidence that you can do it.
Well, courage is often confused with stupidity. About so don't confuse those two. But sometimes you don't know what to do. You're not exactly sure what your next step is until you're faced with it. And frankly, a lot of times you improvise. But some of my earliest memories as a little tiny guy, good and bad, was with one of my grandpas calving. I couldn't have been much more than 4 or 5 years old, that I remember that and some very distinct things. And you're doing things when you're a little bit older that are a matter of, hey, give me those gloves, or hang on to this rope, or don't let this rope slip. You're getting more and more involved as a little guy or someone very small and young, doing what you can do to help. And you're an extra set of hands, and then pretty soon you are the hands. And then it goes from that to, okay, I don't know what to do. And being coached through it, say, well, let's try this, so, and if you do this, this will help. And I tell you, it was kind of fun is when I was showing Braden, and really the boys didn't get all that much as super little guys, because it was my dad and I, but, or mainly my dad, or, I wasn't doing much of it alone. But when those kids got a little older, Braden, my firefighter, is also an EMT. So and I was an EMT, and I said, look, okay, this is how the pelvic girdle is. You need to pull this calf up and then down around that pelvic. And you're explaining anatomy as you're doing. He's like, oh yeah, okay, I got this. This is easy. And he's very good at it. He's very intuitive on when to pull, and waiting for contractions, not getting in a hurry, and pulling that calf when it's not ready. When that cow isn't having a contraction, she's not ready to push. Right. And wait for them. And so it's learned, but it's learned from the time you're small. And there's times when I'm like, ooh, man, this sucks. I don't like this at all. And you can feel a leg back, and you do everything you can to protect that cow and that birth canal, because you can tear the cow up, and now you've got a real problem, and infection can set in and you can lose them. So you're just trying to improvise and think your way through it. Try to stay as calm as you can, but you got to hurry too. I mean, time is of an essence sometimes when you're trying to save a calf, because they can certainly die in utero.
Yeah, I really noticed that, how you were very sensitive to what was going on, the biological process itself. And I mean, you can end up doing more damage than good if you're not patient, and you're not observant, and you're not, understanding the whole process from the get-go. Your help has to be very strategic. And I'm wondering about people who would like to get into the cattle industry, who don't have this childhood nurturing in the industry. It would be really difficult, it seems to me, that to be able to come in as a newcomer, because there's so much that you take for granted that I mean, that this is a way of life. It's not a job. And I don't think people who are not in the farming and ranching lifestyle understand the generational passage of knowledge that goes on. It's not just passing the land from one generation to another. It's passing all of that knowledge that has come through all of this experience. So have you ever encountered new ranchers, and how does that go for a new rancher?
Yeah, that's very tough. Or someone who did it as a young kid and they have gotten back into it, but there's a lot they have either forgotten or don't remember, or starting over, and they're starting over with and you say experience is exactly the right word. There is no substitute for experience, even when it's bad, even when something has gone wrong. If you're a halfway intelligent individual, you're going to learn from that, or try to learn from that, what not to do again, or not quite do the same, similar but not the same, so that you don't do more damage. That's exactly right. And there are some that I just cringe, and they'll tell you stories, and I don't want to inflict myself on somebody telling them what to do. If somebody asks, I'm more than happy to share what I've learned. But sometimes if you're close enough to them, you can kind of ease on and say, well, this happened to me once, and this is how we did it and got lucky. So you want to help people out, but there are sometimes circumstances where it's kind of a wreck, and you feel for them, and they're doing the best they can, and you try to help them out. But a lot of times these stories are related after the fact, and the damage has already been done for that year, and they should have learned from that, or hopefully will learn from that. But there's a huge learning curve, an enormous learning curve. And I think a lot of intuition is there. I mean, you've got to pay attention to your animals, and I don't care what it is. You have to pay attention to them and watch what's going on with them. There's behaviors, it's all about being tuned into behavior and being able to respond to that. So those are some major tools that you use, and if you don't use them, you'll lose them. So,
I'm kind of interested in this topic, Brandon, because I know there's a large movement in the United States to get people back engaged in agriculture, and more in small family agriculture as opposed to agribusiness. Even here in the Missoula Valley, people are trying to encourage young people to get engaged. And I also know that there's a generational issue here, that many people who own the properties, their children are not interested, whereas other people are. And so it it seems to me that we really need to find a way to nurture the people who are, and to be able to pass some of that not just the land, but the knowledge. And apprenticeship programs, are there anything like that in the cattle industry?
There are. I think some of your educational things like 4-H and FFA are large programs in the schools. Part of the issue there, and I mean, we could go on this. This is a whole other topic, and it's one has to ask themselves, why are the young people that are on the farms and ranches, why are they not wanting to stay?
Yeah.
Why are they choosing to go somewhere else? That's a whole issue right there in itself. And I've said many times that losing touch of where your food comes from, that everybody has every day, it's one of those three things that we really have to have. Losing touch with where that comes from and how it's done and how it affects me is only a generation away.
Yeah, it sure is. And I think things like farmers markets, and here in the Missoula area, we have a market that is also a producer to consumer in terms of meats. So you get to meet the rancher, you get to, there's an exchange of information. But I don't want to belabor this, but it was just so apparent to me that you knew what you were doing, you had the confidence to do what you were doing, and you did it very expertly. And that kind of information doesn't come from a book. You can read about it, you can understand the biology, but to actually watch the cow and understand when the contraction is coming, and know that this is the time to pull, that's experience.
It is. And what's a couple of things along that line is, this was a very, very easy pull. Normally on a normal pull, I would have a snap attached to that OB strap that I placed around that calf's legs, and I did a double wrap, so it's not just a single hard to pull, and I'm trying to protect that calf's leg so I don't do damage to it. But then I would hook up to a thing to take the slack out and be able to literally pull that calf slowly. And so that's one issue. And and let's face it, when you go to a farmer's market, this is not the sexy side of agriculture. This is the hard work and the loss side of that.
I think we have a technical issue on Brandon's side. Well, I'm going to close it up for everybody. Then I want to thank you for joining us. As always, we love having Brandon come to Dunrovin virtually and physically whenever he's able. And I'm sorry that the technology kind of faded out here on the last moment, but we got most of it, and we will welcome him back next week. Thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned. We're going to have some fun with Cherie this afternoon talking about osprey. We'll see you at 2 o'clock. Thank you all, and goodbye.